are listening to LOA Recon with the Good Vibe coach Jeanette Ma, where we dissect the ins and outs and the art and science of conscious creation, all intended to amp up your manifesting game. Let's have some fun together. Hey, it's me again. So, if you're not holed up in your house with the TV unplugged and your phone turned off, and no communication with anyone on the outside whatsoever, you've probably noticed things have gotten dramatic out here. I'm not even going to describe that because each of us has a different experience of it. How cool is that? And I know some conscious creators are afraid to do or say anything right now because of the judgment and criticism they get from others when they do. And I'm sure they're staying quiet and laying low with the best of intentions. And I know other conscious creators who are very vocal about what we should be doing and how we're getting it wrong and how we can do better, must do better. And I'm sure they're doing that with the best of intentions too. Because our intentions are always to find a way to feel better, right? So I'm sure those who are telling me I'm doing it wrong have my best interests at heart. They genuinely think they know what's better for me. And I've been reminding myself that I don't know what's better for them. How could I? I've been finding this teaching from Abraham helpful lately, which is that, you'll know this, step one is appropriate. Contrast, it's the basis for the expansion of our experience, of our well-being and our enjoyment. It all starts with contrast. So anyone who's doing step one is doing it right. You can't get that wrong. And step two, that's handled immediately. That's not our job. That's universe's job, and it's really good at it. So there's no concern there. And then step three is where we become the vibration of what we desire so that we can allow the manifestation of what we want. That's also appropriate. If you're doing that, you're doing it right. Feeling good for any reason we can. That's step three. Following our guidance, whatever it calls us to, that's part of the process, and that's appropriate. So if you're following what feels better, you're doing it right. Which means that pushing against, or feeling angry, or resentful, or justified, or afraid, that's all appropriate. You're doing it right. And releasing the fight, and focusing on what's going right, and finding reasons to feel better, looking for evidence of what you want, that's appropriate. You're doing it right. There's no way to get this routine wrong. So don't let anyone tell you you're not doing it right. You are. You're either in step one, fueling more contrast and strengthening the desire for the opposite, or you're in step three, where you're allowing those desires to manifest. And if you're super savvy at this routine, you're in step 5, where you can do all this without getting mad at yourself or others for how it's unfolding. Woohoo! The point being, you can't get this wrong, so don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Whatever you think and feel and do, it's appropriate, it's valid. Even if that's different from what I'm doing, even if it's different from what your favorite others are doing, you can trust yourself to know what works for you. In fact, that's the only source you can trust, yourself. And I'm not saying we don't get inspiration from others. And sometimes hearing from others helps us know what's best for us because we can tell based on how it lands, whether it's for us or not. Oh my gosh, speaking of fabulous sources for inspiration, I met a fabulous one the other day. We did a call at GVU. Oh, Jaren Elise, that's her name. I'm friends with her on Facebook now. I don't have Instagram, but apparently, I just listened to a Facebook Live from her the other day. I really liked her. Okay. But what I really meant is to listen to yourself. Listen to your inner being, your inner guidance. In fact, I wrote a blog post on that the other day. I wrote it. In fact, I'll just share a couple thoughts from that. Oh, right. I had some people emailing me, messaging me, saying, hey, looking forward to your take on current events. And I was like, really? Why? Because there's one opinion that matters right now, and it isn't mine. It isn't your neighbor's. It isn't whoever's in your social circle. It isn't the general public's opinion, and it isn't even Abraham's. The only guidance worth following right now is yours. That's what you want to listen for above all else. Don't take anyone else's cue for how to behave or what to think, at least not without running it by your own inner knowing, your own inner wisdom, your higher self. Don't let anyone tell you what you should focus on or do or say, or what you shouldn't focus on or do or say. They don't know. Your inner guidance does. Listen for that. Remember how Abraham said, once upon a time, sometimes your inner being purposely steers you into contrast for the benefit it knows you'll receive from it. Ooh, that's exciting. You always, 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 always want to trust your own inner wisdom. So you can speak up or not. You can protest or not. You can be peaceful about those protests or not. You can post memes or not. You can focus on what feels better or not. You can read the books and donate to the organizations and contribute to the conversation or not. No one knows what you should be doing right now except for your inner guidance, your inner being. So what are you inspired to? What feels better? That's how your guidance speaks to you. That's what you want to listen to. You're going to get your best guidance at home. And then I shared my own thoughts. I said, yeah, okay, so having said that, here's my take on it. I believe we create our own reality. In fact, I believe we each create our own reality, meaning we all have our own. We're not all in the same one, even though it might seem like it. I also believe in the value of contrast. I believe in the expansion it inspires. I believe it's helpful to feel our feelings to process that contrast. And I believe that what we focus on grows. I know for a fact that action doesn't trump vibration. It matters how we feel more than anything. It's not when the stakes are high that we should resort to action. It's when the stakes are high that we want to get on our best manifesting game. We want to tend the vibration now more than ever. Means paying attention to how you feel and finding a way to feel better. Unless your inner being is steering you into more contrast for the benefit it knows you will receive from it. When we act from inspiration, we can't go wrong. I believe the best way to experience what we want is to shift focus off contrast and onto our desired result. And I believe inner inspiration calls us forward to the manifestation of what we want. And I believe we each have different desires and beliefs and inspirations, and that someone else's well-being doesn't impede mine. We can all win together, even when we're up to different games. I believe it's all working out perfectly, even when it might not look like it. Okay, at least that's something I try to believe most of the time. Sometimes that's hard. And I believe we're all doing the best we can with what we know right here and now. And I believe you know what's best for you and that you can trust yourself to know that too. So, look, that's why you can relax. Or stir up the fight. You can't get this wrong. Step 1 is good. Step 3 is good. Step 5 is freaking awesome when you can get there. But it requires a higher perspective on things. It doesn't matter where you're at. You're doing it right. I just want to thank you for being in the game with me here and now. How cool are we? You know what, though? There's a teaching from Byron Katie that I love even more. I've been reminding myself. It's guiding me through this, which is that, I love this so much. That everyone loves it. I'm going to cry as I say it. Come on. I only heard her say it once, but man, do I repeat this to myself a lot. Everyone loves everyone, they just don't know it yet. Right? Oh, there's another thing I've been playing with lately. So I misheard Abraham one day. They were reading a question from someone who was talking about being in despair. But what I heard was, I thought I heard them say love to spare. And that didn't make sense in the context of the question that was being asked. This person was, feeling pretty awful. And I thought I heard Abraham say right in the middle of it, love to spare. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. And I thought, they interjected their own personal blessing on someone as they were reading their difficult question. But I played it again and realized, you just misheard it. But I liked my original interpretation much better. Love to spare. love to spare. I've been using that. So when someone says to me, Jeanette, you should really be speaking up about this right now. Your silence is deafening. It is not a good look. Or when someone says, I can't believe she's even talking about this. What kind of savvy creator puts a spotlight on this? This is terrible contrast. Doesn't she know better? Can you hear me going, like I'm blowing them off left and right? You have to. Or when someone says, that was the wrong thing to post or the wrong time to post it. This is no time for puppy pictures. This is no time for video from the lake. Or whatever they're saying that makes me think, whatever it is that I think. Oh, and also those times when I see a colleague doing something that makes me think they've completely lost their LOA mind. Whenever I've got a not great feeling thought, I just remind myself, I've got love to spare. I've got so much love to spare that I can throw some over here. I can spare some right here and now. I can toss it over there. I can even leave it behind here. I can throw it in the streets. I could toss it at strangers, perfect, total strangers. I've got plenty for everyone. I've got plenty of love to spare, plenty for me, plenty for them, plenty more where that came from. That feels pretty freaking good to have an abundance of love to spare. I don't know if anything here is helpful to you, but if nothing else, I hope you hear this. Trust your own inspiration. You cannot get this wrong. Don't let anyone think that you are. Whatever you're doing is valid. And I'm throwing lots of love your way because I've got plenty to spare. Big love, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.